very good morning from Bolzano, Italy. This morning I've made it to the bus station where I'm hoping to catch the bus number 170 all the way up into the mountains to a little village really called Castelroto or Castlroof, depending on whether you're using the German or Italian name. It's a beautiful day, the mountains look spectacular behind me, the sky is blue, the weather's great, it's pretty cold, but I'm looking forward to it. So let's see if we can catch that bus and make it into the mountains. All I will say is that I'm really pleased I didn't eat a big breakfast before getting on that bus. That was a windy, bumpy route up into the mountains, but I'm pleased to say I've arrived. The cost of the bus was €4 for a single fare. It took about 45 minutes to get here, and the buses run every 30 minutes, so it's really easy to get here and then get back to Bolzano later on. I am currently about 5, 6, 7 minutes walk maybe outside of the bus station area, which is in the centre of the commune, and I'm heading up to an old fortification where hopefully we'll learn a little bit more about Castelroto. We're gaining some elevation now. Castelroto below me, and this is the entrance to the old fortification. A spooky looking tree up there behind the wall, a park bench, and originally the fortification was built here because it is on top of a hill, so it's good for defending the communes around this area, the settlements that would have been back in the day. There's that tree again from the other side. Later on, the fortifications were extended to a castle. And then in the 17th century, from the ruins of that castle were built 7 chapels. One of them I think is straight ahead. It looks a bit like it has a castle influence. Very pretty area, no doubt about it. Very quiet as well. Not many people up here. The 2-floor former chapel is now a town hall, by the way, just so you know. And look at that, what a spectacular little place. And I want to just turn around as well and just give you a sense of where I am and how high I am. Look at those incredible mountains straight over there, and you can see the plains and the meadows and the fields all around me. What a spectacular place. Another little park bench. Like a lot of places here in northern Italy, Castelroto actually has 3 different names. Castelroto is the Italian speaking name, Castelroot is the German speaking name, and Castel, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, is for the Ladin people and the Ladin language. The Ladins are an ethnic group who reside here in northern Italy. Castelroto, I'll call it that for the rest of the video, is a big place actually. I keep saying it's a small commune, but actually 7,000 people live here. It is 1,060 meters in altitude. That is about 3,500 feet. And it is incredibly positioned in the valleys around and very close to the Dolomites and Val Gardena, which is a very, very popular mountainous area. You can see some of the mountains there in the distance. They are snow-peaked already. It's not even properly winter yet. The meadows and fields and forests, some of them a little bit higher than I am right now, have snow on them. There are lots of really small communes dotted around the mountainside. I can now hear the bells from the church ringing down in the valley. You can, there we go, hear it now. And I think what I'm going to do is maybe take a walk around this hill and then back into the commune itself. I'm on the other side of the fortification now. That was the town hall up there. Lots of amazing hiking trails. As I said earlier, you could spend a week here just hiking and walking around, and I noticed this might be something quite interesting. It is a path of peace, and it looks like you can walk along the pathway from where I am at the top there. You can walk all the way down there into the valley. There are some numbers as you're going down, and you can look out for them as you're walking. So for example, number 2, you can look out for justice. Made it down into the main square, actually called Krausplatz, and I thought I would give you a quick tour of the square because it's such a nice, beautiful, pretty place. So there's a Christmas tree just behind the camera that is all set up ready for Christmas. It hasn't got any decorations on yet, but I would imagine when it has, it will look spectacular. There is a tourist information office on the other side of the square and a council building next to that. We also have behind me here some German, Austrian influenced buildings. It's actually a hotel, and it comes along with these pretty painted window frames. The white building next to it has these traditional green window shutters which are perfect for blocking out the light, but not so good for blocking out the noise from the very, very large bell tower in the centre of the square. And that, along with the church, forms the old postcard shot that you can get from up on the hill where I was this morning. It is a spectacular scene of Castle Roto with the church in the foreground and the mighty Dolomites in the background. The bell tower and church make up Castle Roto Parish Church, and they date back at least as far as the 12th century, but they were reconstructed in the 19th century. So if they don't look all that old, that's because in the grand scheme of things, they're probably not as old as some of the other structures in the area. So I think what I'm going to do, I've been into the Tourist Information Centre. They told me that the church is open, so we're going to see if we can go inside and have a look, see what it's like. I'm out of the church and I'm on the other side of the square now with this little water, well, I say little, this large water fountain behind me here. Looks like a really traditional water fountain. It's not very elaborate, but it's got a little man with a house up there, and it just looks really pretty and fits in perfectly in the surroundings of the square. The bell tower is just behind that. The bell tower is 88 meters high, and it has 9 bells at the top, 8 of them from 1922. The last one, the smallest of the 9, was from 1763. There seems to be a very small chapel in the bell tower itself, right at the bottom, which I just visited. I had a look in there just to see what it was like. Very, very small. I did try and get to the top as well, but unfortunately the door was locked, so I won't be getting any views from up there today, but very interesting. I think I'm going to go and just take a walk around these little alleys now and see what else we can find. You may have noticed that Castle Roto is deserted. There's not many people about. Lots of the shops and restaurants are closed. Hotels, some of them are open, some of them not. And that's because I've arrived in the month-long period after hiking season in the summer is closed and before ski season has opened up. So it is really, really quiet. Everybody's getting ready for ski season. And if I turn around, you can see one of the shops that's closed here. It has a number of maps outside, and I was going to walk around the corner here and just show you the area that I'm in, because I always think it's good to give you some kind of perspective on the area that I'm visiting. So you can see, let's have a look at this map. We've got Milan, Bergamo, Verona, Venice down here, We've got Austria, Liechtenstein, Germany up there in the north. These are the Alps, and I am currently, well, I was in Bolzano over the last few days, but I'm currently somewhere about here, so you can see just how massive it all is. And if I come around here a little bit further, there is a map that is a little bit more zoomed in to the area that I'm visiting. So there is Castle Roto. That's the little mound with the fortress on this morning, and there's those big old Dolomite mountains that we saw as well. Pretty interesting. While I'm here in this region of Italy, I wanted to answer one question, and that is, why are the Dolomites called the Dolomites? Well, there's actually quite a good explanation for it, and essentially a French geologist by the name of Marquis de Dolomieu was exploring this region of the Alps. It was the late 1700s, and he was traveling between Bolzano and Trento, and he noted the different appearance of the mountains and rocks around him. They're kind of like a white rock. He was really interested, so he took some with him back to Geneva, where he sent it off to a lab to be properly analysed. The results came in, and it turned out this white rock was actually a previously unlisted mineral, a new mineral. Now, the naming of it was going to be in association with the chemist in Geneva who had tested it. Instead of that, the chemist decided it would be a good idea to name it after Marquis de Dolomieu, and therefore the name Dolomite was created. Back then, people referred to these mountains as the Pale Mountains. It wasn't until the mid-1800s when a book was published in London calling these mountains the Dolomites, and the name kind of grew from there. I guess it wasn't properly accepted or used in a major way until the end of the First World War, and then people started from all over the world referring to this area of Italy as the Dolomite Mountains. I'm not sure I could have picked a better spot to end the video, church bells ringing as well, than this spot right here, overlooking the church, the mountains, the commune. Absolutely spectacular. And we've got the even higher rise snow-peaked Alps behind me there. That is Val Gardenia in that direction. I wish I was continuing that way, but I'm not. I'm heading back towards Bolzano shortly, and then on from there. I have not finished in the Italian Alps yet. We've got a few days left, so hopefully you'll stick with me. Thanks very much for watching this video. I'm gonna go and catch my bus. See you in the next video.